What's going on, you guys? It is your boy Mr. Curry here, coming back at you with another YouTube video. In this video I am going to be going over the chapter 13 assessment on page 399 and 400. I will say that I'm also playing, obviously, Fortnite. Please do not have any high expectations. I am going to try to get a victory royale. But I can't promise anything. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10 of my skill level, I'm probably at a 4 or 5. I am much better than a bot, but not necessarily the best at this game. So I see him. Alright. That's guys. I want to shout out to all my peeps, my subscribers, all my kids. I miss you guys. I hope you're doing well. But before we get into our real first battle, let me do the first question. Question number 1. The Danube and the Po in Europe are which of the following? Peninsulas, mountain ranges, rivers, or islands? This is a pretty simple one. They are rivers. Okay. Because I have time. Question number 2: in what way does the code of chivalry still affect people today? Is it provided a model for education? It was the basis for our educational system. I'm just going to start. I don't know what I said on the questions because I got distracted there. So it provided a model for starting a business. It formed the basis for our educational system. Many of our ideas about social manners are based off it, or the code of chivalry did not have a lasting effect. The answer to this question is that many of our ideas about social manners are based off the original code of chivalry. Okay? Pretty simple. Really could go for a shotgun. Hey guys, Mr. Curry here. In the confusion of that last gun battle that you just saw, I realized that I completely skipped question number 3. So it should pop up right there. Question number 3 is: King Henry the II of England used which of the following to increase his power? His serfs, the Pope, court of law, or the Magna Carta? Which of those did he use to increase his power? Think about it. The correct answer is the court of law. He created the court of law. If you remember, he set up common law all throughout England to kind of get more power for him. He kind of brought all of England under the rule of law. So he used law to kind of control the people living there. All right, guys. All right, let's get right back to the Fortnite. Okay. Number 4, flying buttresses are related to which of the following? Scholasticism, vernacular language, Romanesque architecture, or Gothic architecture? The answer to this question is Gothic architecture. And if you remember in lesson 4, I talked about and I showed pictures of how when they built cathedrals, they built them to and they needed a way to kind of support the heavy ceilings. And so the Gothic architecture, they use those flying buttresses as support. Number 5. Oh, there's a guy right there on the roof. Let me do a pause on number 5 because I'm gonna get this fella. Let me do a reload. That's what I wanted to do, ladies and gentlemen. Pick up this. Alright, hold on. Alright. Why did Pope Urban call for the First Crusade? He hoped to reunite the church. He wanted to take over the Byzantine Empire. He wanted to convert the Turks to Christianity, or he was getting back at the Turks for an attack on Rome. Well, he actually wanted to reunite the church. He wanted to. The First Crusade was something that they did to the Byzantine emperor asked the church for help fighting the Muslim Turks, and the church and the Pope. What am I doing? That's embarrassing. I don't have a henchman alive to get into that box. But I really don't need to get into that box, because this is really what I want. Alright. Back to the question. So the Pope figured that if he helped them out, then he could reunite the Byzantines, who were the Eastern Orthodox Church, and they would view him as the leader of the church again. So the correct answer is A. He wanted to reunite the church. Okay? Let me just do real quickly, get this XP coin. And I'm going to go over here. While I'm in the helicopter, from which of number 6, which of these European countries were the Jews expelled in 1492? This one's pretty easy. They were expelled from F, Spain, by Ferdinand. This is going to be risky. Okay. Number 6 is a document-based question. It's a King Louis the Ninth asked of his vassals. All vassals of the kings are bound to appear before him when he shall summon or call upon them to serve him at their own expense for 40 days and 40 nights, with as many nights as one owns. Which of the following, number 7, best describes the obligations of the king's vassals? A manor system. B, scholasticism. C, feudalism. Or D, guild system. This is the feudal system. If you remember, in return, I'm getting my chopper shot now, but I am going to kind of start to play a little bit safe because I'm good on stuff. Could have a better shotgun. I might think I'm going to go upgrade my shotgun. So the king, gave land in return for service. All right, this is where I'm like super, like not aggressive. 13 people left. I got decent loot. Based on what you learned about medieval Europe, which of the following describes what happened if the king needed vassals and knights for more than 40 days and 40 nights? The vassals and knights would overthrow the king. The knights would rebel against the vassals. The vassals and knights would continue serving at the king's expenses, and the knights would withdraw from the manor. And this one is pretty easy, I would think, but there's nothing that we have learned to say that perhaps they would do anything different but to continue to serve. So the vassals and knights would continue serving at the king's expenses. Pardon me. Alright, number 9 and 10 deal with a short response. From the Black Death from the Encyclopedia Britannica, a more lasting and serious consequence of the plague was the drastic reduction of the amount of land under cultivation, or the amount of land that was able to be farmed due to the deaths of so many laborers. The psychological effects of the Black Death were reflected by a preoccupation of death and the afterlife, evidenced in poetry, sculptures, and paintings. So, according to this passage, number 9, what was one effect of the plague? Well, you can either say the psychological effect that you saw that in art and sculpture and paintings were all about death and the afterlife, or you can talk about how because so many people died, there was less people that were able to farm the land, and that kind of goes into number 10. Why did the lack of labor have a negative effect on Europe? Think about this. Think about a Saturday at Kroger. Think about if a Saturday at Kroger you took nearly half of the workers and just sent them home. What would it be like? It would be pretty crazy. I need to move. And so the lack of workers, there were less people that survived, less people that were able to work the lands, so less land was able to be farmed, so they could, in turn, they made less money. And so, we saw, just kind of a decline in the economy because of that. And then, well, last questions. You are asked to, before I read this question, I'm going to find a good place. I know what to do. No, I need to. This guy's going to go after me. Crap. I need to rotate this way. That was the yacht. Key card. I need to find a bush to hide in. Oh my god. Right here. You have been asked to contribute to a reference article about the Middle Ages. You are responsible for the areas of medieval culture, literature, and education. Write an outline showing the specific facts and details that you plan to cover. So you just kind of guys got to go through the chapter on that one and look at what we learned about architecture, education, and literature, and kind of what kind of information you would give. And if you were kind of writing a paper or an essay on, the medieval architecture, you got to talk about the two different styles. Literature, what are the different literature that we read about, and what was it like to go to school. Alright, so I got 4 left in this, and I got through all the questions real quickly. It was rivers, it was, we get our social manners based off of it, courts of law, Gothic architecture, he hoped to reunite the church, Spain, feudalism, the vassals and knights would have served, continued to serve, and then that. So really went over it. So there's 4 left. So I'm going to start to play real. Oh, here's a good bush. Check this bush out. These are my favorite bushes. Again, make sure everyone is washing your hands. Emailing me if you have any questions. 3 left in this game. I got 4 kills. You guys like that snipe? I am being a camper. do not comment about me camping. But how awesome is this video going to be if I can pull this off? Alright, let's slowly start to move forward here in a couple seconds. Here it is. Oh, buddy. Good try. Alright guys, thanks for watching. It is your boy Mr. Curry, and I'll see you right back here at the next video. Take it easy. I miss you guys.